My name is Avalon, and I'm hiding. Not from sight, I'm standing in the middle of the royal court, surrounded by hundreds of wolves, clearly visible to everyone. But I'm hiding nonetheless, behind a veil, behind long sleeves, behind carefully applied cosmetics, behind a smile that never reaches my eyes. I'm hiding bruises, so many bruises, in so many places, some fresh, some healing, some layered over old ones that never fully faded. My ribs ache from yesterday's beating. My left eye is swollen beneath the concealer. My wrists are ringed with fingerprint bruises hidden by my sleeves. My back is a tapestry of welts covered by my high-necked gown. And my veil, my beautiful, decorative, supposedly traditional veil, hides the worst of it. The split lip, the bruised jaw, the cut on my cheekbone, the evidence of last night's discipline session. You embarrassed me at the gathering, my husband had said. You spoke to that male too long, laughed too loudly, drew too much attention. You need to learn restraint. Then came the fists, the open palms, the kicks when I fell, the violence that had become so routine I could predict the pattern. First the accusations, then the shouting, then the blows, then the silence, then the morning after when I had to hide the evidence and pretend everything was fine. I've become an expert at hiding, at covering, at lying, at surviving. Lady Avalon, someone addresses me. You look lovely today. That veil is exquisite. Thank you. It's traditional for my family. We wear them at formal events. Lies. My family doesn't have a veil tradition. I started wearing them 6 months ago when the beatings got bad enough that cosmetics couldn't cover everything, when hiding became a full-time job. You're so graceful, so elegant, so perfect. More lies. There's nothing perfect about me. I'm broken, battered, barely holding together. But I smile. I nod. I play my role. Because revealing the truth means admitting I'm weak, means losing my position, means being cast aside as damaged goods. So I hide. I endure. I survive. One day at a time. One beating at a time. One lie at a time. And I tell myself it's enough. That survival equals success. That making it through another day means I'm winning. Until he sees me. The Alpha King. The one wolf I can't hide from. The one who looks past my veil and sees everything I've been hiding. And speaks 2 words that change everything. Never again. Chapter 1. The marriage, 2 years before. The courtship, I met Cassian 2 years ago, at a pack gathering. He was handsome, charming, perfect. You're beautiful, he said, approaching me with practiced ease. I'm Cassian Darkwood, beta of the Silver Pine Pack. Avalon Morningstar, I'm nobody important. I doubt that. You carry yourself like someone of significance. He courted me for 3 months. Flowers, gifts, romantic gestures. Everything a she-wolf could want. You're special, Avalon. Different from other she-wolves. Intelligent, graceful, perfect for me. You're very kind. I'm flattered. I'm not being kind. I'm being honest. I want you as my mate. Will you accept? I should have seen the signs. The way he isolated me from friends. The way he criticized my choices while calling it helpful advice. The way he always needed to know where I was, who I was with, what I was doing. But I was young, naive, desperate to be wanted. So I ignored the red flags, dismissed the warnings my instincts gave me, told myself I was being paranoid. Yes, I said. I'll be your mate. Biggest mistake of my life. The first year wasn't violent, just controlling, manipulative, gradually isolating. Why do you need friends? You have me. I should be enough. That dress is too revealing. Wear something more modest. I don't want other males looking at you. Did you just talk to him? That conversation lasted too long. Were you flirting? You're spending too much time with your family. You're my mate now. Your loyalty should be to me, not them. Each criticism chipped away at my confidence. Each demand narrowed my world. Each accusation made me question myself. Am I flirting? I was just being polite. Maybe the dress is too revealing. I don't want to embarrass him. Maybe I should prioritize my mate over my family. That's what good mates do. I became smaller, quieter, more careful, constantly monitoring my behavior, constantly trying to avoid his displeasure. You're changing, my mother observed during a rare visit. You used to be vivacious. Now you're subdued, nervous. Is everything all right? Everything's fine. I'm just adjusting to mating life. It's normal. It doesn't seem normal. It seems like you're afraid. Of what? I don't know. But you're not yourself. I'm fine, Mother. Really. Stop worrying. She didn't believe me, but she didn't push. And I didn't admit that she was right. I was afraid, terrified, of disappointing Cassian, of triggering his anger, of losing the approval I worked so hard to maintain. 18 months. The first blow, the first time Cassian hit me was 18 months into our mating, over something trivial. A dinner burned, a comment misunderstood, an imagined slight. You embarrassed me in front of my friends, he shouted. Made me look like I can't control my own mate. I didn't mean, I was just trying to contribute to the conversation. The slap came without warning. Hard, across my face, snapping my head to the side. I stood there, shocked, hand to my burning cheek, unable to process what had just happened. Look what you made me do, he said, his voice suddenly calm, reasonable. If you'd just listened, just behaved appropriately, I wouldn't have had to discipline you. Discipline. He called it discipline. Not assault, not abuse. Discipline. I'm sorry, I whispered. Automatic. Learned. I'll do better. Good. See that you do. I don't want to have to correct you again. He left, and I stood there, touching my burning cheek, telling myself it was a one-time thing, that I'd provoked him, that it wouldn't happen again. I was wrong about all of it. 20 months. The pattern. By 20 months, a pattern had emerged. Criticism, anger, violence, apology, repeat. I'm sorry I hit you. You just make me so angry sometimes. If you'd just be better, I wouldn't have to discipline you. I know. I'll try harder. I'll be better. Good. Because I love you, Avalon. I don't want to hurt you. But you force my hand when you misbehave. The beatings became routine, weekly. Sometimes more. Always for something. Always justified in his mind. You looked at that mail too long. You spoke when you should have been silent. You served dinner late. You questioned my decision. You existed wrong. That last one was unspoken, but true. I existed wrong. Was wrong. Everything about me was wrong and needed correction. I started covering the bruises, makeup, long sleeves, careful positioning. Lies about clumsiness. I walked into a door. I tripped down the stairs. I'm just clumsy. Always have been. People believed me, or pretended to. Either way, no one intervened. No one asked questions. No one saw what I was hiding. 2 years, the breaking point. 2 years into the mating, I broke. Not physically, I was still functional, but internally, spiritually. I shattered. I looked in the mirror one morning, saw the bruises, the split lip, the blackened eye, the shell of who I'd been. I can't do this anymore, I whispered to my reflection. I can't survive this. But leaving wasn't an option. I had no money. Cassian controlled all finances. No family support. He'd isolated me from them. No friends. He'd driven them all away. No pack protection. Questioning a beta's treatment of his mate was taboo. I was trapped. Completely. Utterly. Hopelessly. You look terrible, Cassian said, seeing me. Clean yourself up. We have a court appearance today. I won't have you embarrassing me looking like that. Yes, Cassian. And Avalon? Wear the veil. The one I bought you. It's traditional, elegant, perfect for covering. He touched my bruised face. Imperfections. The veil. A beautiful piece of fabric. Meant to be decorative, becoming my prison, my mask, my method of hiding the truth from the world. I wore it to court that day, and every day after, because hiding became survival, and survival became my only goal. Chapter 2. The hiding, 6 months before. The veil tradition. The veil is beautiful, people would say. So elegant, so traditional. You wear it so well. Thank you, it's a family tradition. Lies, but necessary lies. Because admitting the truth, that I wore it to hide bruises, meant admitting I was weak, broken, being abused, and admitting abuse meant being cast aside, rejected, labeled as damaged goods. Better to hide, to pretend, to survive. Why do you always wear the veil? My mother asked during a rare phone call. You never used to. Did Cassian request it? It's just a preference. I like the elegance, the tradition. We don't have a veil tradition, Avalon. Why are you lying to me? I'm not lying. Yes, you are. And I'm worried. You've changed, isolated yourself. Now you're wearing veils constantly. What are you hiding? Nothing. I'm fine. Stop interrogating me. I'm your mother. I know when you're lying, and I know when you're hurting. Please, talk to me. Let me help. There's nothing to help with. I'm fine. I have to go. Cassian's calling. I hung up, blocked her calls, couldn't risk her discovering the truth, couldn't risk Cassian's wrath if family interfered. Better to be alone than to endanger anyone else with my reality. The layers. Hiding the abuse became a full-time job. Layers upon layers of deception. Physical layer, makeup, concealer, foundation, long sleeves, high collars, veils, careful positioning, never showing skin unnecessarily. Emotional layer, smiling, laughing, pretending happiness, acting like everything was perfect, never showing fear or pain. Social layer, making excuses, explaining away bruises, avoiding situations where I might be seen, declining invitations, isolating further. Mental layer, convincing myself it wasn't that bad, that I deserved it, that leaving would be worse, that survival equaled success. Each layer reinforced the others, made the hiding easier, more automatic, more complete. Lady Avalon always looked so put together, so elegant, so perfect. Perfect. That word again. If only they knew how imperfect I was beneath the surface, how broken, how barely holding together. The close calls. There were close calls, moments when the truth nearly surfaced. Once, my sleeve rode up during a meeting, revealed fingerprint bruises on my wrist. An observant she-wolf noticed. Those bruises, did someone grab you? Oh, these? I got caught in a door. Silly of me, always so clumsy. She didn't look convinced, but she didn't push. Social taboos prevented her from questioning a mated she-wolf's explanation. Another time, I winced when sitting, ribs broken from a particularly bad beating. A male wolf noticed. Are you injured? Should I call a healer? No, just sore from training. Overdid it yesterday. I'm fine. You don't train, Lady Avalon. I've never seen you at the training grounds. Home training, private, I'm fine. Really? Again, doubt, but no intervention, no rescue, no escape from my reality. The royal summons. 6 months after I started wearing the veil constantly, a summons came. From the royal court. The Alpha King was holding a gathering. All pack representatives required to attend. We're going, Cassian announced. This is important, political. You will be perfect. You will represent me flawlessly. You will not embarrass me. Understood? Understood. Wear the veil, the blue one. Elegant, but not ostentatious. And for the love of the moon goddess, don't speak unless spoken to. Don't look at males directly. Don't do anything that might be interpreted as flirtatious. Just stand there, look pretty, be silent. Yes, Cassian. And Avalon? If you embarrass me at this gathering, if you make me look bad in front of the king, the consequences will be severe, worse than anything you've experienced. Do you understand? I understood. The threat was clear. Behave perfectly or suffer catastrophically. The night before the gathering, Cassian gave me a reminder of what would happen if I misbehaved. 3 broken ribs, a blackened eye, split lip, bruised jaw. Remember this tomorrow, he said calmly after beating me. Remember what happens when you disappoint me. Now clean yourself up. We leave at dawn. I cleaned up, applied layers of concealer, put on the veil, prepared to hide one more time, to survive one more day, to pretend everything was fine. I had no idea that gathering would change everything, that hiding would become impossible, that someone would finally see me, really see me, and refuse to look away. Chapter 3. The King Alpha King Darius. Alpha King Darius Shadowthorn was a legend, the most powerful alpha in the kingdom, ruled for 15 years with strength and justice. Unmated, focused entirely on his kingdom. He's never taken a mate, wolves whispered. Too focused on duty, too particular, too powerful for most she-wolves to handle. I heard he can sense lies, see through deceptions, know truths people try to hide. He's terrifying, magnificent, dangerous, a king in every sense. I'd seen him from a distance before, at formal gatherings, always commanding, always powerful, always aware of everything around him. But I'd never been close, never been noticed, never been seen by him. That was about to change. The gathering. The royal court was magnificent. Hundreds of wolves from dozens of packs, all dressed formally, all presenting their best faces. Stay close, Cassian hissed as we entered. Don't wander, don't speak, don't draw attention. Just follow my lead and be silent. Yes, Cassian, my ribs screamed with each breath. My eye throbbed beneath the veil. My entire body was a map of pain carefully hidden beneath fabric and lies. We moved through the crowd. Cassian networking, politicking, using me as a decorative accessory, a symbol of his status. This is my mate, Lady Avalon. Isn't she lovely? So elegant, so graceful. A perfect representation of Silverpine Pack. I smiled, nodded, played my role, silent, obedient, perfect. All the while, I felt eyes on me, watching, assessing, seeing more than I wanted seen. I turned, met the gaze of Alpha King Darius himself, silver eyes, intense, piercing, seeing right through my veil to the truths I was hiding. He was staring at me, not with the casual interest most showed, with focus, concern, recognition of something wrong. I looked away quickly, couldn't meet his gaze, couldn't risk him seeing too much, couldn't let anyone see through my carefully constructed lies. The presentation, Beta Cassian Darkwood of Silverpine Pack, the announcer called. Please present yourself to the king. Cassian approached the throne, pulling me with him, his grip on my arm tight, painful, adding to the layers of pain I was already carrying. We knelt before the king. Standard protocol, showing respect, submission, acknowledgement of his authority. Rise, the king commanded. We stood, Cassian confident, me terrified, hoping my veil hid enough, hoping the king wouldn't look too closely, hoping I could get through this without incident. Beta Cassian, welcome. And this is your mate? Yes, your majesty. Lady Avalon, my treasured mate, a jewel of our pack. Treasured. The lie was bitter, but I said nothing, just stood, silent, hidden. Lady Avalon, the king addressed me directly. It's a pleasure to meet you. That's a beautiful veil you're wearing. Thank you, your majesty. My voice barely above a whisper, respectful. careful. Is it traditional? For your family? A direct question, requiring a direct answer. I could lie, but something about his gaze suggested he'd know. It's personal preference, Your Majesty. I find it elegant. I see. And you wear it always? Even in informal settings? Why was he asking? What did he suspect? My heart raced. Yes, Your Majesty. I prefer it. His silver eyes studied me, seeing too much, understanding too much. Interesting. Well, please enjoy the gathering, Lady Avalon. Thank you, Your Majesty. We moved away, Cassian's grip on my arm tightening. Painful. Warning. What was that? He hissed once we were out of earshot. Why was the king asking about your veil? I don't know. I just answered his questions. He was staring at you, looking at you strangely, like he suspected something. What does he suspect, Avalon? Nothing. I said nothing, did nothing. Just answered questions respectfully. You better hope that's true. Because if you've drawn unwanted attention, if you've made the king suspicious, there will be consequences. Severe consequences. I knew there would be. There were always consequences. Always punishments. Always pain. The second encounter. An hour later, I was standing alone while Cassian schmoozed with other betas. The king approached. Alone. Without ceremony. Just walked up to me. Lady Avalon, may I speak with you privately? Panic. Pure panic. But I couldn't refuse the king. Of course, Your Majesty. He led me to a quiet alcove, away from the crowd, where we could speak without being overheard. I'm going to be direct, he said. Your veil is hiding something you don't want seen. I'd like to know what. I don't know what you mean, Your Majesty. The veil is just a preference. Lady Avalon. I've ruled this kingdom for 15 years. I can read wolves, read situations, read truths people try to hide. And right now, every instinct I have is screaming that you're in danger, that you're hiding something terrible, that you need help. I'm fine, Your Majesty, truly. I appreciate your concern, but let me see your face, your real face, without the veil. I can't. It's not appropriate. I'm the king. I'm making it appropriate. Remove the veil, please. It was a command disguised as a request. I couldn't refuse, couldn't avoid, couldn't hide anymore. With shaking hands, I lifted the veil, revealed my face, the bruised jaw, the split lip, the black eye barely hidden by concealer, the cut on my cheekbone, all the evidence I'd been desperately hiding. The king's expression didn't change, but his eyes blazed with fury, controlled, directed, absolute. Who did this to you? I fell. I'm clumsy. Don't lie to me. Those are not injuries from falling. Those are injuries from being struck. Repeatedly. Systematically. Who did this to you? I couldn't answer. Couldn't speak. If I told him, Cassian would kill me. If I didn't tell him, I was disrespecting the king. Either way, I was destroyed. It's complicated. It's simple. Someone is hurting you. Someone you're protecting. Someone you're afraid of. Tell me who. I can help you. You can't help. No one can help. It's pack business, personal business, not something the king should involve himself in. Everything in this kingdom is my business, especially wolves being abused, especially she-wolves being brutalized. Tell me who did this, and I will end it. Now. I can't. If I tell you, he'll... I stopped. Realized what I'd said. Admitted there was a he. Admitted I was being hurt. Admitted everything. Heal what? Hurt you more? Kill you? That's what you're afraid of, isn't it? That revealing the truth will make it worse. That staying silent is safer than speaking up. Please, Your Majesty, please don't push this. I can't survive more consequences. I can't... My voice broke. Tears spilled. The facade crumbled. 2 years of hiding shattered in one moment. The king pulled me close, protective, gentle. "Never again," he said firmly. "Definitely. Never again will anyone hurt you. Never again will you hide bruises beneath veils. Never again will you suffer in silence. I promise you. Never again." 2 words. Never again. Spoken with such conviction, such authority, such absolute certainty, and something inside me that had been broken for 2 years began, slowly, carefully, to believe him. Chapter 4. The Intervention. The Revelation. "Your Majesty, there you are." Cassian appeared in the alcove, saw me with my veil raised, saw my face exposed, saw the king's protective stance. "What's going on here?" "Beta Cassian, your mate has shown me her face, explained her injuries. I have some questions for you." Cassian went pale, then red, then cold. "My mate is clumsy, prone to accidents. I'm sure she explained she attempted to, but I'm not interested in lies. I'm interested in truth. Did you cause these injuries?" That's pack business, personal business, not appropriate for... Answer the question. Did you cause the bruising on your mate's face? The split lip? The blackened eye? The injuries she's been hiding beneath that veil? She's my mate. How I discipline her is my concern. Discipline. The king's voice was deadly quiet. "You call beating your mate discipline? She's unruly, disobedient, requires firm guidance. She requires protection, safety, respect, none of which you've provided. Instead, you've brutalized her, terrorized her, made her so afraid that she hides injuries beneath veils and lies to protect herself. You have no right to interfere in pack matters. I have every right. I'm the king. And abuse is not a pack matter. It's a criminal matter. Guards." Royal guards appeared immediately. "Your Majesty?" "Arrest Beta Cassian Darkwood. Charge, spousal abuse. Severity, extreme. He's to be held pending formal trial." "This is outrageous. You can't arrest me for disciplining my own mate. I can, and I am. Lady Avalon is under royal protection as of this moment. You're to have no contact with her, no communication, no influence. Guards, remove him." They did, dragged Cassian away despite his protests, despite his threats, despite his claims of innocence. And I stood there, shaking, terrified, relieved, confused, all at once. "You're safe now," the king said gently. "He can't hurt you anymore. Never again. I promise." "What happens now? I'm his mate, legally bound. If you arrest him, I'm nothing. No status, no protection, no... You're under royal protection. That supersedes all other bonds. You're safe. That's what matters." The aftermath. News spread quickly. The king had arrested a beta for abusing his mate, publicly, at a formal gathering, in front of hundreds of witnesses. Unprecedented. Shocking. The king never intervenes in personal matters. This must be severe. Lady Avalon was hiding the abuse. The veil. It wasn't tradition. It was concealment. How long has this been happening? Why didn't anyone notice? Why didn't she tell someone? The questions swirled. The gossip exploded. And I hid in royal chambers, granted sanctuary, trying to process everything. "You're safe here," the king's healer said, examining my injuries. Multiple broken ribs, extensive bruising, historical evidence of repeated trauma. This has been happening for a long time. 2 years, more or less. It started small, escalated, became routine. "I'm so sorry. No one should endure this, ever. But you're safe now. The king has guaranteed it. What happens to me? Cassian is my mate. If he's imprisoned, I'm nothing. No pack, no status, no protection beyond the king's guarantee. The king will address that. For now, rest, heal. Let yourself be safe for the first time in 2 years." The trial. Cassian's trial was swift, public, brutal in its honesty. The evidence shows extensive, repeated abuse, multiple broken bones, historical trauma, systematic terrorization. Beta Cassian Darkwood, you are guilty of spousal abuse. Sentence: imprisonment, 20 years, stripped of rank, banned from holding pack position. Your mate bond is hereby severed. Cassian raged. This is persecution. I was disciplining an unruly mate. That's my right. Discipline is correction. What you did was torture. The mate bond is severed. Lady Avalon is free of you, permanently. I watched from the gallery. The bond breaking felt different than I expected. Not painful, liberating, like chains falling away, like prison doors opening, like breathing for the first time in 2 years. Never again, the king had promised, and he'd kept that promise. Cassian couldn't hurt me anymore. Never again. The freedom after the trial, I didn't know what to do. I was free, truly free, for the first time in 2 years. What happens now? I asked the king when he summoned me. I'm no longer mated, no longer tied to Silverpine Pack, no longer anything. What do I do? What do you want to do? I don't know. I've spent 2 years surviving. I don't know how to just live, choose, exist without fear. Then learn. Stay here, in the royal court, under my protection. Heal, rebuild, discover who you are without the abuse, without the fear, without the hiding. Why are you doing this? For a she-wolf you barely know? Why care so much? Because no one else did. Because you were suffering in silence and everyone looked away. Because saying never again means nothing if I don't back it up with action. Because you deserve safety, protection, the chance to heal. I don't deserve anything. I'm broken, damaged, weak. I couldn't even leave on my own, couldn't save myself. Just hid and hoped someone would. You survived. For 2 years you survived something that would have destroyed most wolves. That's not weakness. That's strength. Remarkable strength. And now you get to use that strength to heal, to rebuild, to become who you were meant to be. Chapter 5. The Healing. 6 months later. The process. Healing was harder than surviving. Surviving was reflexive, automatic. Just endure until tomorrow. Healing required conscious effort. Work, facing truths I'd been hiding from. You blame yourself? The king's counselor said during one of our sessions. For the abuse, for not leaving, for enduring it. I should have left, should have fought back, should have what? Had resources you didn't have? Support that wasn't there? Courage that 2 years of systematic abuse had destroyed? You survived the best way you could. That's all anyone can do. I wore the veil, hid the bruises, lied to everyone. I enabled it by covering for him. You survived, by any means necessary. That's not enabling, that's surviving. Stop blaming yourself for what he did to you. It took months to internalize that, to accept that I wasn't responsible for my own abuse, that surviving didn't make me complicit, that hiding didn't make me guilty. The unveiling. 6 months after Cassian's arrest, I stopped wearing the veil. Completely, permanently. Are you certain? The king asked when I appeared without it. You don't have to if you're not ready. I'm ready. The veil was hiding, concealing, protecting me from being seen. But I don't need to hide anymore. Cassian can't hurt me. No one can hurt me here. I'm safe. I can be seen. You can, and you should be. You're beautiful, Avalon, not despite the scars, not in spite of the healing. Just beautiful. As yourself, without veils, without hiding, without fear. It was the first time he'd called me beautiful, the first time anyone had seen my real face in 6 months, and called me anything but damaged. Thank you, for seeing me, for saving me, for saying never again and meaning it. Thank you for surviving, for being brave enough to accept help, for trusting me enough to let me protect you. The feelings. Somewhere during those 6 months, feelings developed. Not gratitude, though I was grateful. Not obligation, though I owed him everything. Real feelings, genuine attraction, possible love. "You're staring at the king," one of the court ladies observed. "Again. You do that a lot." He saved me. I'm grateful. That's not a grateful look. That's an interested look. A longing look. You have feelings for him. That's ridiculous. He's the king. I'm nobody. A damaged she-wolf he took pity on. You're the she-wolf he arrested a beta for abusing. The one he publicly protected. The one he's allowed to stay in royal chambers for 6 months. The one he checks on daily. That's not pity. That's interest. He's just being kind, protective. It doesn't mean... Ask him, see what he says. Worst case, he says no, and you move on. Best case. She smiled. Best case, he feels the same way. But I couldn't ask, couldn't risk the rejection, couldn't bear the thought that his protection was duty, not desire, that his care was obligation, not affection. Better to stay silent than to risk losing the safety I'd found. The confession. The king confessed first, 3 days later, in the royal gardens, under the moonlight. I need to tell you something, Avalon. Something I've been feeling for months but haven't had the courage to say. Your Majesty, I've fallen for you, not as a king protecting a subject, as a male drawn to a female. I'm attracted to you, connected to you, possibly in love with you, and I needed you to know. No pressure, no expectations, just truth. I stared, speechless. The king, the Alpha King, had feelings for me? I know the timing is terrible. You're still healing, still recovering from abuse, still learning to trust again. I'm not asking for anything, just telling you. So you know, so you can decide what you want without wondering about my feelings. I have feelings too, I admitted. Have for months. But I thought it was just gratitude, trauma bonding, misplaced affection. I didn't think you could actually what? Feel attraction to a brave, strong, beautiful she-wolf. Why wouldn't I? Because I'm broken, damaged, covered in scars, barely put together. You're healed, healing, becoming stronger every day. And yes, you have scars, but scars prove you survived. Prove you're a fighter. Prove you're exactly the kind of she-wolf a king should value. What are you saying? I'm saying I want to court you, properly, slowly, at your pace. No pressure, no expectations. Just the chance to see if what we're both feeling could become something real. Yes, I said without hesitation. Yes, I want that. I want you. I want to see if this is real. Then we'll take it slow. Build something real. Build something based on choice, not obligation. Based on trust, not fear. Based on love, not survival. And we did. Slowly. Carefully. Beautifully. Epilogue. 2 years later. The coronation ceremony celebrated my ascension as queen. 2 years after the king said never again. 2 years after being saved. 2 years of healing and loving and becoming. You look stunning, Darius said, adjusting my crown. No veil. Just you. Beautiful. Perfect. Mine. Yours. Always yours. Thank you for saving me. For seeing me. For saying never again and meaning it. Thank you for surviving. For healing. For giving me the chance to love you. For becoming the queen this kingdom deserves. Looking at him, at the male who'd seen my bruises and refused to look away, I was grateful. Grateful he'd intervened. Grateful he'd protected me. Grateful he'd loved me through healing. Do you ever regret it? Arresting Cassian, causing that scandal, starting all of this? Never. Best decision I ever made. Saving you, protecting you, loving you. All of it. Best decisions of my life. I still have nightmares sometimes, still flinch at sudden movements, still carry scars. I know. And I'll spend the rest of my life making sure you feel safe, making sure you never hide again, making sure never again stays true. And he did. Every day, every moment, every year. He kept his promise. Never again did I hide bruises beneath veils. Never again did I endure abuse in silence. Never again did I survive instead of live. Because the Alpha King had seen me, really seen me, and spoken 2 words that changed everything. Never again. And he'd meant them. Absolutely. Completely. Forever. Sometimes all it takes is one person refusing to look away. One person seeing your pain and saying enough. One person speaking 2 words with enough conviction to shatter your carefully constructed prison. Never again. The most powerful promise. The greatest gift. The beginning of everything. I'd been hiding beneath veils. Now I was wearing a crown. And I'd never been more visible. More seen. More truly myself. Never again would I hide. Because I didn't have to. Because someone had seen me and refused to let the abuse continue. Because the king had said never again. And he'd kept that promise every single day since. Closing. And there you have it, my beautiful dreamers. The story of Avalon and Darius, proof that hiding beneath veils can protect us, but being seen can save us, and sometimes 2 words from the right person change everything. Did this story move you? Did you feel Avalon's pain and triumph? Did you believe in Darius's protection and love? Then show me some love. Hit that like button, drop a comment telling me what you think about the King's intervention, and subscribe to Luna's romance audiobooks so you never miss another tale of survival and salvation. I want to know, would you have intervened if you saw the signs? Would you have believed her if she said she was fine? How do we help people who are hiding their pain? Tell me in the comments. Until next time, my dreamers, may your pain be seen, your hiding become unnecessary, and your protectors speak the words you need to hear, never again. This is Luna, signing off. Sweet dreams, beautiful souls.